for the BIOS and select the OS of the day.
Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. We are here with another supporter stream, and we're talking about this U.S. privacy agency. And Vince is going to have the most to say about it, being from not United States. But I did get your email. We're going to have a look at the agencies that they have over and over down under, and see what we have over there. But anyway, hello everybody. How you guys doing today?
Yeah, very good, thanks.
Very good.
Very good. All right. Very good. Yeah. It's been good all around. I actually woke up early this morning, which is unusual for me. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and, and then actually got a lot of stuff done. The back porch was almost entirely cleaned from all of the experimenting this summer, which was good, which I didn't get any other videos out on. Very shocking. But I did actually end up growing. I did get a lot of tomatoes out of it. I got quite a bit of lettuce out of it. Some herbs. I got some herbs and spices. They're drying, so if there's some police raid or something, not only are they going to pick me up for streaming, and swatted, but then they're also going to, get me for the herbs hanging in bundles upside down in the closet. Ooh! Don't worry, police. It's Miriam. It is Miriam.
They
what else?
would know.
Yeah, I picked up some peppermint. Actually grows in the swampy areas around my house here, so I picked up some peppermint as well. So yeah, very good, very good. So we got Mark's on first. Trent Evans is on. Hello, Trent. Trent, how's it going there? Gnome is here. Hello, Mr. Gnome. Spin Viking, hello to you. Good evening, Mr. Anderson. Mitchell, how's it going there? It looks like everyone's fine on our end. Badger Boy, hello. Bill Gates. Who is he? Who's who? What? Asking a jolly swag man about privacy. There you go.
Don't trust him, I say.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, don't trust Quint now that he showed up. How's it going, Quint?
Hi.
All right. Let's see.
It took me like 5 minutes to get my Bluetooth headphones paired again.
See, this is why I get phones with headphone jacks.
This is why I like wires and cables.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you guys want to see a Resurrection Remix review? I think I've been running it for almost a week now, so I can probably do a review of it at this point.
Here's my Pixel that I had all the problems with here. The speakers do not work at all.
And did you contact them back about that?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't realize that it said at I bought one that I thought I got it for $30 because it couldn't make calls. Like the phone app is broken, but I don't really need the phone app. But I didn't also realize that it said that there were also audio problems too.
If you
I'm
check
just gonna.
that model phone that might be modular, like the Nexus 5X is very modular. You can actually buy just the speakers for this phone pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So
I don't have a problem with it because the Bluetooth works fine, and I can just hook up a Bluetooth speaker if I need it.
now, is it the problem with what is wrong with a call? Like they said, the call app was bad. Is that just
Basically, the phone, you dial a number and the whole system freezes up, and you have to restart the phone.
so?
for
Is
it
that
to
just
work.
with the stock ROM, or is that if you put a custom ROM on it, does it still
I
do the same
haven't
thing?
tried it with Lineage. I tried it on the stock ROM. I put Lineage on it, and then I went back to the stock ROM because I thought I was going to ship it back, but I didn't, and so I'm going to put Lineage on it again.
Okay. Go for Resurrection Remix this time. See if how you test that out. Anyway, let's see. Mitchell saying hello to everybody, and Mitchell also says hello to all of the lurking gangsters. Greetings, lurking gangsters. You tested Resurrection Remix. Yes. It's actually so what I'm doing right now is I'm testing Verizon versus another mobile carrier with the same phone. And so the idea is that Verizon's service is starting to decline. They're getting really bad, and their customer service is becoming horrendous, and their costs keep going up. And I'm not sticking around this company anymore. So I'm testing out another carrier. So it actually has a full phone number on it and everything. So I originally put Lineage on it, and the SIM card wasn't working. The reason is I needed to install Lineage and then factory reset. I didn't realize that. But by the time I did realize that's what I had to do, I was already testing out Resurrection Remix. And so I'm like, let's keep it, because Resurrection Remix, it basically just adds customization. It's Lineage with customization, and it's actually pretty cool. So,
You're not thinking about running over to AT&T, are you? Yeah.
No. AT&T.
No, they're
Are you
just
going to do some sort of?
In fact, AT&T is going to be in our articles tomorrow.
Yeah.
See what they did,
some
right?
sort of screen?
So
Are you going to do some sort of screen capture for the phone?
for what the I don't know if I can get screen capture working, but I have a DSLR camera that I can set to manual focus, and that'll actually work just fine.
Lineage has a built-in screen recorder. I don't know if it's in Resurrection too.
I don't know. The funny here's the worst thing about Resurrection Remix. They pull out all the non-Google stuff, right? They pulled out the web browser.
Yes.
I had to sideload a web browser to get to. Actually, I think I sideloaded F-Droid and just downloaded the browser. It's like, really?
Hey, it's a feature.
Yeah.
It is a feature. Yeah, tell me the name of that app. I'll see if it's on here. If not, I could probably just do it.
There's an app on Lineage called Recorder. It's on Lineage by default.
I see. Oh, okay. Record
And
screen,
there's a
record that.
recorder.
Let me see if it's on Resurrection. Hold on a second.
Yeah, as you see here, I don't know how well you guys can see this here, but the icon looks like that. I don't know if you guys can see that there, but it's just this app. Oh, that's sorry, wrong app. Here it is.
Yes.
This
Recorder
is
on
what it
Resurrection.
looks like. This is it right here.
Yep, that's what I got. I'll play around with that and see if that works. Let's see. Phone's acting up again for Simple Tech. Been a zombie for nearly a solid month. Well, just don't double tap yourself, man. Just don't. I should really try on Lineage OS from MicroG. See, I looked at it. Okay, the reason I did not go with that, number one, it's still experimental and it's still like super old. So I don't see a reason. Number two, I don't use any of that crap at all. Like nothing. MicroG would not bring anything to my mobile experiences. And so I'm like,
I am running Lineage. I'm running Lineage with MicroG on this phone, and it works fine. I've never noticed anything. There are a couple bugs. There is a bug, though, if you do try it. It comes with F-Droid pre-installed, and if sometimes you'll get updates for apps in MicroG, like MicroG apps in there that are in F-Droid. You'll get updates on F-Droid, but if you update it through F-Droid, it's gonna break the app. So you have to make sure you have to wait for a system update to update the micro G apps. Because I did that by mistake once, and it broke it was the location provider for micro G. There was an update on F-Droid. I installed it, and it broke that feature.
Interesting. Yeah, I just didn't see any reason to do it for me, and I'm not like I might eventually use the secondary phone. I'm not going to do anything else with the phone until after I make the decision what carrier I'm going with, which is my guess is going to be in January. And so after that, then I can probably start wiping the phone and playing with it and testing some other things. But I'm going to keep it exactly as this for a while.
I told you about EOS, right? Did you look that one up?
Yeah, I think I looked at it. There's a reason I didn't go with it. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, I looked at EOS. I looked at a bunch of other ones. I basically went down through and kind of I fell on Resurrection because I think mostly because it was working out of the box. Lineage still has security updates, which I liked. And if I had recognized I just needed to wipe the phone after installing Lineage, it would have actually worked. But oh well, I'm not going to mess with it again. So it's a pain. I don't want to.
Yeah.
All right. Dan, are you still on the iPhone or you're not?
Yeah, I still have my iPhone. I'm going to keep it until it no longer works.
There you go. That's the way to go. Well, the way Apple keeps on updating stuff, that might be pretty soon. So, you know. And then Vince got the only phone that doesn't run Lineage.
I'm gambling that it'll still work with Verizon when they decide to drop their service on one side.
Okay, which phone is it? I think anything from the iPhone 4 and greater should.
It's a 7.
7. Yeah, that should work just fine. Does it have a SIM card in it?
I believe so.
Yeah, then it'll be fine. That should be fine.
I tend to use Google Pay a lot.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, I'll forgive you this time.
Banned.
Eris asked, do I still use Start Page since it was sold off? I've not had a chance to dig into all of the pros and cons of being sold off, but that is something that does concern me that I want to research a little bit when I can. So, yeah, Start Page was sold off or at least part of it was. They're like in a big partnership deal now with a big data analytics firm or something. So I need to look them up a little bit more.
You may have to switch to DuckDuckGo even though you don't like it.
I have been using it on my phone, though, for a while, just because Start Page, when they started putting this delay on displaying the ads, so when you played it, this was probably in conjunction was when they actually signed that deal with that company. You'd go in, you'd get your results, and right when you click it, boom, an ad pops up, and you're clicking an ad. It's like so frustrating. So, yeah, I have moved to DuckDuckGo on the phones.
I'm not really into rooting phones and ROMs and all that, and I figure that Apple's got to be a little more secure than Android is.
Yeah, if you're not modding, Apple's better.
Unlocking the bootloader does pose some security risks. It disables some of the security stuff.
Yeah. I'm not super concerned because I don't use my phone for anything but, a couple phone calls. All right, shall we get into our topic for today? We're 13 minutes in, so we better, right?
Yeah, I'm fuming about that one.
You're all excited. Dan? Did you take the time to read the 134-page bill that came along with all this?
No, because I figured that'd make it just worse.
Yeah.
I did take the time to look up to see how many government agencies we really have, and you can't even count them. They list them and by A to Z, and you have to pick a letter to get that group of agencies or bureaus.
So, I mean, is that the point? Is that the point to try and bring it all together so there's one overarching agency?
That's the problem. They can farm this out to any number of other agencies to do rather than creating a new one. That's a big problem with our government here is they want to just grow the government as much as they can whenever there's an opportunity.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So I pulled the article from Ars Technica, who gave us a pretty good summary because it's 134 pages of a bill. We're not reading it all. So the bill is linked. So if you find the new bill would create digital privacy agency to enforce privacy rights. Bill proposes sweeping reforms to privacy rights and enforcement. And the link to the bill is down here. And of course, the government PDF does not have a table of contents built into the PDF. So you'd have to scan through if you want to go to the different sections. All right. Before we dive into the article, everybody, what's your initial thoughts?
Well, first of all, they want to add 1,600 employees to this new agency that they want to develop. 1,600 employees. I mean, we have enough agencies and bureaus in Washington. They can come up with an existing one to put this in perspective with. I'm sure there's an agency or bureau somewhere out there that's half asleep most of the day.
You know what they do need, though? They need a bureau of caddy trunks because Toss is on. Greetings, Toss. How's it going?
Yeah.
Let's see.
That would be more my liking.
Yeah. Vince, what do you think?
I think the goals that it's trying to promote with that bill, I'm sure you're going to go into it when you go into the article, are quite good.
Yeah.
But then I got to thinking about how much government intervention we do or need.
Yeah.
And so I started to go down this rabbit hole after reading this article of neoliberalism, and I started reading about that, and I got very confused.
And then of course, even the government is the only group that can take the simplest thing and actually manage to mess it up. So we have that function as well.
Yeah, you think you've got that problem?
Yeah. Quint, what's your thoughts?
I don't really think it's going to do much because the government's going to be like, this is going to solve all the privacy problems, and then they're probably not going to do much. At least that's what I think, because we've seen that in the past.
Yeah. So a few things. The first is, derp, let's just find all the loopholes, and they'll do that. Second, I mean, we can see how much the Consumer Federal Protection Bureau, whatever that is, has helped. Yeah, not at all. Just sham agency, which, by the way, I believe was created at most or in part by Elizabeth Warren. It was an amazingly good premise with zero functionality on the execution. So one of those interesting things. All right, shall we dive on into this thing a little bit here? So they're taking another stab at addressing the near complete lack of federal laws covering the absolutely massive trove of data that companies now collect on every one of us, which forms the backbone of basically the entire big tech era. So that's the thoughts. So two representatives, both Democrats from California, introduced the Online Privacy Act today. The act would create a new federal agency, the Digital Privacy Agency, the DPA. That's all we need. Why not the DDPA, the Department of Digital Privacy? I don't know. Anyway, I'm overthinking this, aren't I? To enforce privacy rights. The act would also authorize the agency to hire up to 1,600 employees. So, yeah, that's exciting. Every American is vulnerable to privacy violations with few tools to defend themselves. Too often, our private information is online is stolen, abused, used for profit, or grossly mishandled. She says in her statement, our legislation ensures that every American has control over their own data. Companies are held accountable, and the government provides tough but fair oversight. All right. Thoughts so far? I'm not sure we've really covered anything, but anyway.
Okay. Keep in mind that we're coming into another election cycle.
Okay.
All right. They've already played with Zuckerberg and a few others right in Congress and questioned them and everything else. Now that we come into this election cycle, they're going to bring this up just to sway our thoughts on what to vote for. I guarantee you this, if it does come into anything, it's going to be a big waste of money, time, and effort. Because not only that, keep in mind, agencies and Congress play by two different sets of rules. Congress people are always in the spotlight for things like this and things that go on in the Congress room and the Hall of Representatives and stuff like that, where these agencies can play any game they want to play and they're never looked at.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Other thoughts before we get into the actual content of the bill? All right, let's get into the content of the bill. Again, it's 134 pages. So if you are into reading that, or if you need something to go to sleep tonight, you can go ahead and print out 134 pages and read it. It'll be awesome reading material, I guarantee. Should we have a quick peek at it? You want to see what this looks like, people? Hopefully it doesn't crash all my cameras here, but let's see what it does. All right, look at this guy here. Yes. 116th Congress, first session in the House of Representatives. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 132 pages. My apologies. I misspoke. So here, the short section, the short title. This act may be cited as the Online Privacy Act of 2019. And the table of contents goes on for 2 pages. And then we have some basic stuff. So you can very clearly see this would be amazing reading material. I'm thinking about, citing half of this in my next book. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm getting a headache looking at it.
But we do actually have a summary, and the summary that we have here is So, articulate the need for and minimize the user data covered entities collect, process, disclose, and maintain. So this starts to get into the ideas that Vince is right. There's a lot of noble things this is trying to achieve. Is it going to actually be able to achieve them? I highly doubt it. But hey, we can pretend, right? So articulate the need for and minimize the user data X company collects, processes, discloses, and maintains. Now, there is a small business clause, so a small business is exempt. I did not read into the details about what qualifies as a small business. Did anybody see any of that? What qualifies as a small business, or did I miss it, or what?
I don't think any of us have read this whole thing. Geez, I'm down to section 501.
On the whole bill? Yeah.
I mean, there's more. That's where the thing stopped at. If I keep scrolling, I'm going to run out of RAM.
Yeah, pretty much. The computer's like, what are you doing to me? Not only is it bad, it's like it's a government document. Yeah. So minimize employee and contractor access to user data. This is a good thing. So we want to articulate the need for and minimize user data collected, processed, disclosed, and maintained. So collect only the data that we need. This is important because it goes completely contrary to Silicon Valley right now. Minimizing employee and contractor data. Guys, we had 2 leaks. I'm thinking about having a separate section that's in the news. Data leaks caused by company employees. 2 separate companies this week had major data leaks because employees had access to their entire database. Yeah. I forget which companies they were, but you'll hear all about them tomorrow on the news. So this minimizing the employees' access to that data is a good thing. I just had to call Verizon up again today for like the 5th time this month. And no, 7th time this month, my apologies. And it's like every time, it's like they want your security pin, right? Like I entered the security pin on the automated system on the phone. That should tell them that, yes, this person is authenticated. Why do I have to tell that to the employee on the phone who actually, I think Verizon is now outsourcing their tech support to other companies now. Because I used to always get people I could understand, and now I'm getting people I don't necessarily understand. And so now I have to verbally tell them my security pin as well. That seems a little off to me. Maybe I should go online and change my security pin now. Anyway. Not disclose or sell personal information without explicit consent. This is good. Not use third-party data to re-identify individuals. So this deals with de-anonymizing anonymized data, because it's actually very easy to take anonymized data and de-anonymize it. Very easy to figure that out. Figure out who's who. Not use private communications for ads or other invasive purposes. which includes emails and web traffic. This is an interesting line because this is the thing that the ISPs fought to get out of data privacy, right? That ISPs fought to enable the ability to use web traffic to target ads. This was something that was in the news, 2 years ago now, right? Not process data in any way that violates civil rights, employment discrimination, etc. Only process genetic information in limited circumstances. There you go. So 23andMe, you'll have to close down, I guess. I don't know. Use objectively understandable privacy policies and consent processes and may not use dark patterns to obtain consent. So that means that you can't bury your consent to give all of your data inside, paragraph 387 of the privacy policy that is written with, 6-point font. Employ reasonable cybersecurity policies to protect user data, obviously, and notify the agency and users of breaches and data sharing abuses, like the Cambridge Analytica scandal. So those are the initial thoughts. What are our thoughts on all of these?
Again, it's going into another election cycle. I've been around long enough to know they pull this stuff out of their hat right before it's time to vote. And as far as, privacy is concerned, yeah, it sounds really good, but can we enforce it? That's the big question.
Yeah.
Who's going to enforce it? Let's ask the bigger question. Who's going to enforce this when it's infringed upon?
Oh, the digital whatever agency, right?
Yeah, we have the digital goons at your digital door.
That's right. That's right. They're just it's just a way to give another, collect more taxes to have more employees and things like that. Vince, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're great goals, but as Dan's also saying, who's going to actually investigate and enforce these problems? There's one big problem I see with the bill itself, and that is it doesn't have a catchy enough acronym. So I'm sorry, it's not going to pass.
This is true. I mean, we need to. All right, guys, what is our think? You guys can comment engagement here. What should we name this bill? We need to have a better name for this. I mean, this is boring. What is this thing called? This thing
OPA?
simply
Online Privacy Act.
Yeah,
it doesn't even make.
Yeah,
it doesn't even make good bathroom stall reading.
Yeah, the Digital Privacy Act of 2000, or Online Privacy Act of 2019. We got to have a better title. So you guys let me know in the comments. You'll be working on this, I know, and I expect to see them when I get into the comment sections here, discuss this. We need to see the best new pithy title for this, and maybe we'll forward it on to the congressman and say, hey, here's a better name for this. This is a nice pithy title that will cause it to pass. All right.
Yeah, and the attorney's going to say, define online. Is it that guy walking the wire outside?
Yes. That online is not defined. Quint, what's your thoughts about the future of your country, man?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really think it's going to work. Like, I just don't think anybody's going to be enforcing this stuff. I think they do this just to try to get everybody thinking there's going to be privacy in the U.S. and everything, but they're just not going to enforce anything.
Yeah, so...
They're too ahead of themselves.
Yeah, I think that this is this is very similar to some of the privacy laws that we saw come out in the EU, which I don't know if those necessarily have helped much either, but I don't know. So, yeah, we need a pithier title, way better title. So privacy mess. The privacy law in the United States today is a patchwork of regulation. In the end, the result is basically a hot mess that leaves agencies with limited authority to investigate and penalize even egregious abuse of data. I don't even really think we have any regulation about privacy other than COPA, dealing with kids. I don't know. So federal statuses that exist each cover specific limited kind of data and enumerate a specific limited kind of entity that's obligated to protect the data. So for example, while your doctor's office can't sell information about your diagnosis to a third party, no such limitations apply to the apps. Of course, we now know who owns all of those now. Google. Apple, so the wearable devices. So that raises a fascinating question that with medical stuff, inside of our medical stuff here, the doctor can't disclose stuff, but all of these fitness apps are collecting data. These companies are collecting it. There's no regulation about what those companies do, especially since you had no choice but to agree to the privacy policy, which could say anything in there you want. I don't know. This is why wearable fitness stuff that connects to other people's servers is a bad thing.
And there's a lot of money to be made with health data. Imagine how much insurance companies would pay for that data.
Mm-hmm. Not only insurance companies, but it's actually more profitable. Health data is more profitable to scammers than credit card information. Credit card information expires. A health diagnosis doesn't. Quint, go ahead.
This is what I tell people who have smartwatches. Like, your insurance company is going to get this data.
Yeah, but they'll give me better rates for the data. Yeah, they won't. I mean, come on, guys. I went out to Wegmans today because I needed to pick up some things. And I bought me a little bag of candy, and and I ate me a bag of candy today, and it was amazingly tasty and definitely not good for me. And I'm sure that the if I had some watch connected to somebody's servers, which my watch does not connect to servers, but if I had some watch connected to servers, they might actually be able to work that out. Hey, every time this guy goes in this general location place, he seems to pick up a bag of candy, and then this happens, and then we can track the purchasing and consumption of a bag of candy to X type of health measurements on his device. Guys, they're working on this stuff behind the scenes. Do you not recognize that? So,
not to mention all the cameras outside taking pictures of you eating it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually eat it until I got in the house, which was shocking, very shocking. Usually I'd come back to my car and I'd have that thing opened up. But I've actually been doing quite a bit of intermittent fasting lately. And so, I generally don't eat before 2 o'clock these days. So I bought my candy at like 12:30. So I was simply not eating my candy until after 2. And I went out to after 2, Giant Foods greater than Wegmans. If you're talking about Giant, no, that's like the worst grocery store there is in the country. On objective data, by the way. I'm not sure if Giant Foods is the same company I'm talking about, but anyway, we'll talk about that if we want to a little bit here. Let's see. Anything else before we jump back into this guy here?
There's a comment. Hereby, Ordinary has proposed the name, the Oops Act.
Okay.
Oops means oops. It's about online privacy and security. So also it's a GNU backronym. Right, I get it now.
Nice. Oops is not an acronym, right? Do they call those is it recursive acronym? What's the name for those specifically? Oops is about online privacy and security. There you go. That is a good one. That is a good one indeed.
I didn't get it the first time I read it, but then I read it again. Oh, no, goodness.
Only the Linux crowd's going to get that one.
Yeah, that's right.
Or at least the open source crowd, because those are also used in BSD, right? All right. Let's see. There's some stuff in there about California. These two, like, what is up with these names? Representatives Ishu, God bless you. I mean, really, Ishu and is it Lofgren? I don't know. Are far from the first to propose new federal regulations to address this morass. In fact, they're not even the first this year. Wyden last month introduced Wyden has a better chance because this is called the Mind Your Own Business Act. That's the type of stuff we need. The Mind Your Own Business Act, not this Online Privacy Act of 2019. Man, that name is so 1952. You're not allowed to be clear. Yeah, go ahead.
Tom, this is a little off topic, but I can see why you don't like Nautilus because I was pushing some files over to here on the phone using Nautilus, and it said it was going to take 523 hours, 500 like something to push the files over.
Yeah, I screenshotted something back in the Vista era that when I was transferring files, it actually said it would going to take something to the effect of like 385 years. It was quite exciting. All right. Final thoughts on the privacy stuff. Then we'll jump over down under there and see what we can find over there.
Something more modern would be the Electronics Communication Privacy Act. Would probably be a better name for it.
Okay, I'm gonna go find my Fun Vista picture because it's just hilarious.
Privacy mask, they can call it privacy mess.
There it is. So okay, it was going to take 649 days and 14 hours.
Where do you have? Did you just pull it up?
Hold on, let me copy it over to my other system here. It's on
What was that for?
Funny though.
I was transferring files on Vista. I'll just go ahead and do this and zoom this guy up. And then let me just show my desktop view here. So there we are. It's on the desktop view. So there it is. We are copying 802 items, which is 1.74 gigabytes, and it was going to take 38,649 days and 14 hours. Man, the thing is still going too. I think it's down to like 38,000, like it's like 36,000 something days. I think this was about 10 years ago. Oh yeah, 2007, man. This was back in the Vista days. The Vista days. Looks like I was copying stuff for my dissertation over there. You can kind of see there. Yeah.
That was from a network share.
Yeah, I was sharing stuff over the network, but that's what Vista gave us. That's right, 38,000 days.
Still, 1.63 megabytes per second is not too shabby.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. You know, but I don't know why it's going to take so long. Well, that was fun. Fun little detour there. All right. Let's go ahead and have a look at... so these, Vince just emailed these to me. So these are the Office of Australian Information Commissioner. So they regulate privacy, and do you know anything else about these organizations?
Yeah, they came to mind when I saw your email about having a government agency, because we had to look into it for work, because it was going to cover us for work. Mm-hmm. When all these rules came in. I think they came into place February last year. And I believe that these guys are the ones who, if a company, a government organization, or a company of a certain size or certain type leaks data, so someone breaches it, it's a security issue, you need to report it to this agency. Mm-hmm. And I guess that they investigate it and maybe help you to alert your clients or users to what's happened. There are some penalties if you don't alert them and you're one of the organizations that it's covered by. And I was looking for them, and I think I found them it was in that third article I sent you. So if you bring that up.
I only saw these two. Was there a third?
There should be a third. There should be a third thing underneath that.
See
if not, I'll post this link. Hang on, I will send it to you. But I'll.
Yeah, I see it. Let me see if I can pull it.
Yeah, I've just sent it to you on the Hangouts chat.
Okay.
Yep. It says that the legislation will have increased penalties to $10 million for serious or repeated breaches. 3 times the value of the benefit obtained through the breach, or 10% of the entity's annual domestic turnover, whichever is greater. And then I went to look for whether any of these rules have actually been used and tested, whether there have been breaches that have been used, and there was something that I found only from this week as well, actually, where an online ticketing agency had their data breached, and they notified this agency. It was on one of the news websites I follow. And at the end of the article, it says that the OAIC received 1,160 reports of data breaches in Australia in the year to June this year. So I'm guessing it's sort of working. But I'm no privacy or legal expert, so I don't know all the inner workings of all of
So if
this.
they're saying several thousand have been reported so far this year, I mean, at some point in time, we need to just say, all right, we don't need to collect this type of data. Let's just stop collecting data,
Yes.
at some point in time. And that's the thing. It's like here's how we fix a lot of this stuff. Company, you may not collect data without a handwritten piece of paper with somebody's signature on it that is not absolutely required for an exact direct service you're seeking. Obviously, if I'm mailing a package through UPS, they kind of want to know my address so that they know where to send the package to in the case they can't deliver it. I get that. Okay, but if I'm doing a online purchasing an online digital service, you don't need my address. You don't, unless obviously for billing type stuff. But if I'm paying through PayPal, I'm sorry, I'm paying with a PayPal account. You don't need my address unless you're shipping me something, And that's the type of stuff. And we have to get better at this, at saying no to some of these companies. We got to get better. And sometimes it makes you feel a little bit like a jerk. Like, oh man, I don't want to, do that. I don't want to sound like a jerk. Well, you got to sound like a jerk. You got to protect yourself. You go in to get a haircut. They don't need your phone number and your email address and your name and your, everything else. I'm here for a haircut and I'm going to be waving you a $20 bill at the end of it. Do a good job and you'll get to keep some of the change, You don't need to give your barber all that information, for the love.
But I guess that's the discussion point, isn't it? Is it up to the individual to demand that, or does somebody else need to come in and, say, the government or whoever else, an independent entity, come in and actually enforce all this stuff? Because the reason why I then went down the rabbit hole of neoliberalism was the whole concept of whether government intervention is required or not. And I've come to the view, myself personally, that there are some things that if you're left to the free market, it's just going to lead to perverse outcomes.
Correct. This is why I'm not a pure capitalist. This is why I'm not a pure independent, because there are some regulations we need to have. Now, do we need a government agency to tell somebody what you can't do? No, the first line of defense is we as people, we need to grow ourselves some gonads and learn to say no. And you realize sometimes that you can come off almost sounding like a jerk. But all I'm doing is saying, no, you're cutting my hair. You don't need my email address. Okay? But we've been so ingrained, and we're taught this in schools and all these other things, that, oh, here's a form, fill it out. Here's a question, answer it. They're training us to be cogs and little wheels and rats,
Did your hairdresser seriously ask for your email address?
Oh,
yeah, mine does too. My barber asked.
Nearly every company. Yeah.
I would walk straight out and go to the next person.
Yeah.
They use
here's the thing. We got one in our town that I know of that doesn't.
Oh,
one.
Man.
They're old school. They don't even take credit cards or anything. Every other place to cut your hair in America, they're almost all corporate. All of them, they're doing data collection.
Why do they want data collection?
Well, here's why. They want your phone number, because when they bring up your phone number, when you give it to them, it tells them what attachment to put on the buzz shaver to shave your head. It tells them which way your hair is parted. It gives you all this information, and the last time you've been there for a haircut's all on your phone number.
I've been going to my barber for 20 years, and he just remembers what I want.
Yeah, you'd think,
People around here.
That's why I go, because it's great.
Mm-hmm.
The barber
That's why I love
to
the guy.
is local, and they only accept cash also, so I've never had any experience with that.
Yeah, so there's still a couple of good ones out there, but for the most part, like I can only think of one in my town that's not a big corporate chain that, then they want to send you the coupons, they want to send you this, they want to send you that, It's like, no, I don't need a coupon, okay? I'm going to get my hair cut when my hair needs cut. Okay. And if I need a coupon to save $1 on my haircut, we got some problems, I like going in there. I like getting my haircut for cash. I can have a casual conversation with the barber. I don't need to give them my phone number. But they're so ingrained. You go in, what's your phone number? And we don't even think about it anymore. Oh, this is today, It's like, no. Yeah. Mitchell always politely declines giving email and phone number. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's crazy. But everything, Shoppers Club cards, all these things. It's just like, no. Let's go ahead and look at our comments because we've neglected our comments for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, they're rolling.
All right. So if there's anybody sees any fun comments, go ahead and interject.
Oh, also, Tom, here, just since we're in the comments, I just got E flashed on here. This is what EOS looks like.
Oh, so this is the one that looks very much like Apple then.
Yeah, it looks just like iOS. Like there even is the iOS looking menu
now,
in here.
Do the icons stack like iOS as well?
What do you mean they stack? Like,
so, you can't put the icons where you want. So, like on all my phones, my icons, I keep my icons all on the bottom. There's that, and for you guys there.
Yeah, that's how I have mine too.
Yeah, so can you do that, or do they stack like Apple's where they just do a grid starting at the top left?
Apples. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so it's the whole thing is, I'm not sure I'd want that necessarily, but I don't know.
I just wanted to try it out because I was curious.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be using Lineage on my main phone. I just love Lineage, and it works. That's the thing. Lineage just works.
Yeah. Yeah, and even my Nexus 5X is still getting security updates from Lineage, which is awesome. Not that I'm actually installing them because I can't right now, but first thing you should mention is who is proposing this bill. 2 California Democrats. So therefore, if it does pass, it's going to be crazy. Nothing against the Democrats. It's the California part. Okay, it's the California part.
The extra 1,600 employees will tell you who's which side is actually advocating this.
On the toll-free voicemail thing, got everything set up. All right, then, Toss. How's it going there, Toss? We already have a privacy agency. It's called Facebook.
I believe it's Caddy Trunk.
Yes, the Caddy Trunk. The ultimate privacy. Nothing will leave. Yeah, I thought Techlore was kidnapped by Tesla and sent into space. Another one, because for a while, like, he did an amazing Tesla video, and then nobody heard from him for like 3 months. He came out of woodwork though. Techlore's okay. He's back. All right. Waste of time replying here if you aren't a paying person, or as they call it, a Patreon. Forget it. Waste of time. What, Mr. E? I don't know. Okay, let's see. I have mixed feelings about this bill. I want to get better privacy, yet I should trust the government to make it happen. Blocked users and fake comment. What blocked users and fake comment? I don't know. Interesting. Mr. E is apparently having a conniption fit. So someone check on Mr. E. All right. TTFP, Trust Task for Privacy. All right. So there's the new agency. All right. I think it's bad now. Just wait. Yeah. Of course, the other thing about the American law system is we have to give it a pithy title that actually does the opposite of what it says it wants to do. That's the other thing about it. So if you're still thinking of your things. Be used against the American people to shut them up, probably. Hello, fellow Linux users. Well, hello, Shadowsly. How are you doing today? DJ Ware, how's it going there? Stirring the pot of hornets today. Anna Rita, how's it going there, Anna Rita? Anna Rita, the book update. I am 35 or 40% done. Getting there. It's getting there. Feels like the problem, reaction, solution, dialect, but I haven't read it. All right.
Tom, you know what this feels like? It feels like you're using a phone, one of those, I don't know if you've ever seen these videos, but there are iPhone clones that Chinese manufacturers make, where they try to make it the home screen look like an iPhone, but then you open the app and it looks like a normal Android material design app. That's what this feels like, because you see it's like iOS looking.
Yeah.
You open the phone app and it just looks like the normal phone app.
Yes, the Android phone app. Yeah. Uh-oh.
It just does not match.
Yeah, yeah.
I may change the launcher on here. The launcher is what's doing all this.
Not worth the effort to run ads for a month, then get buried in search results. What's the point if I'm constantly forced to pay? Yeah, that's what Google does. You'll get good click-throughs on Google Ads for the time you're giving them the money, but yeah. Shadow says, how about don't collect data in the first place? There's the first line of the law. If the first line of the law says this, no company may collect any more data than is necessary to provide the original product. That's it. We're good. We can go home now. One page. We don't need 132 pages for this. It's like listening to talk radio while playing door games.
But you're putting politicians out of their jobs.
I
Can't do
know. I know.
You have nearly that many pages and agencies that exist in Washington.
Yeah.
There is well over 100 of them.
Laws are only for those that choose to be enslaved these days. Law of the nature and the wild works for you. All right. Better question. Which pack wrote the bill? The elites don't care about the law. Yeah. That's like, oh man, we'll just have to build in some extra fees into our operating costs. Penguin Revolution's working on the next video.
Ooh.
Oh,
Derek's
yeah.
got a good one, but I'll wait till you get to it. But keep going.
Oh, really? Okay. Am I getting close at least?
I have no idea.
Half of the tech companies are in bed with the government already. This is true. Giant Food's greater than Wegmans. Clarify, Keith Richards, if you're talking about the same Giant we have in our town, it is the worst grocery store, and I can demonstrate it objectively. Let me know. There's the oops comment again. Forgot Markdown doesn't work for stream comments. Yeah. Please review Kubuntu 1803.4. I'll think about it. So what about the real ID in the U.S.? From the way I understand it, you need it to travel within your own country. I want to do a tinfoil hat time video on the real ID. I want to get a hold of my friend who's actually spent some time researching it first. So, hello, Steve. How's it going there? Papers, please. Max of Nazi Germany 80 years ago. Let's trust an irresponsible government with our privacy. Yep. That's about right. Okay. Shadow Slide's back. Greetings. Welcome back. I'm sure you've been back here for a while. Okay. If you really know what birth certificates are for, you'd be really scared. Vince is an attorney and privacy expert. Vince, you're an attorney and a privacy expert, right?
Fake news. That's fake news, Mitchell.
Fake news. Oh man, we got fake news even over here.
Tom, I found another funny thing in here. Is that there's a flashlight app pre-installed, but Android has had like a flashlight thing in the quick settings toggle, so it's like Android 4.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that's exactly what they are using on those fake Apple phones. People never learn more about someone has on you. Yeah, it's deep fake Apple phone. How about the stay the bleep out of my online business act? Hung around the hippies in the 70s and got a good education. There you go. Oh no, I lost my place. Ooh, I think I'm getting close to the bottom. Nailed it. Have to say no more often. That's the thing. We just got to learn to say no. I politely decline giving email and phone number. Yeah. Here's a fun thing you can do too. You can always ask them back. If you ask them back. Derek Graham, Rage Against the Machine. Is that the comment? I'm guessing there'll be another one.
No. He came up with a good name.
All right. Old news is so exciting.
Yeah, he did.
Hello, Tax Action. How's it going there? Fedbook was getting big. A lot of employers. I said I had to get an account to be employed by them. The interview ended abruptly. Oh boy.
Yeah, way to tell them, Gnostic.
Yep. Teaching myself Blender for a project for work. It's really powerful. Yeah. That is a hard one to learn. Yep. Recommend take your time with Blender and understand how it works. Yeah, it took the one book cover that I wrote in Blender took me about 30 hours of work, but there was a lot in that cover. And actually, that book cover, we actually built an entire log cabin around that tree that you can't see. It's actually quite impressive. Normal maps, I don't want to go with that because of material. Napa, not a privacy agency.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Work on the book or the whip is coming out. I'm going to try and do at least one more today, but Thursday is not a day I get a lot of other stuff done. But I'm going to try and finish it this weekend and possibly even submit it as early as Sunday for the audiobooks, which if I submit it as early as Sunday, it will be on Kobo probably within the week or two. Don't agree to those analytics terms. They have to go against my privacy policy. I can't do that even if I wanted to have a privacy policy. There's actually open source analytics tools that you can use. Uh-oh. Kitty's back from vacation. How was your martini on the beach, buddy? How was your martini on a beach? Yeah? He's like, dude, it was epic. I saw some politician there and it was cool.
I don't think he's walking straight.
Yeah, he had too many beach keenies.
Yeah. Went away to watch some news, but you're back. Well, welcome back, Mr. Anderson. Imagine with my declining AdWords, they will bury you in search results. Yeah, probably. Windows Defender is going to be ported to Linux. Wow. Toss, was your video about the failure on LinPhone? Yeah, I tried to queue that up to watch that, but the thing just kept spinning on me. I'll have to try and find it again. Am I sure? Where did I hear this from? Who? What? Learned how to work Blender by watching YouTube videos. That's usually what I end up doing. New reading material for the Christmas break with the blanket. All right, yep, we'll get it up there soon. I am almost done with the ebook, and then once the audiobook is laid out, then I'll be finalizing all the manuscript things and then submitting that. And then we'll be about good to go, almost. Took about 2 months to receive the postcard to get verified. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, for your Google business stuff. That's crazy. Yep. All right. Final thoughts on this privacy and these agencies? Final thoughts, anybody?
I think that something like this, if they were serious about it, they would find one of the other agencies that's well-staffed and doesn't have enough work or something like that to add this to. I mean, to add another government agency to the big long list that I just got up on my screen here is unbelievable.
So
and
how many agencies does it tell you?
It doesn't tell me. It goes on as long as that bill does when you're scrolling. Wow, it's that bad.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, here's an example: Defense Security Corporation Agency, Department of Agriculture, Department of Commerce, Department of Education, Department of Energy, Department of Transportation, Department of Veterans Affairs, Economy Research Services, Election Assistant Commission. I mean, I can go on and on just in the E's.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And
yeah. Go ahead.
You know, we're kind of coming up on another election cycle, and these people want to get reelected. So yeah, they're going to put themselves out there. Well, we come up with this great bill. You know, is there any punishment in the bill for a breach of this, that, or anything? You know, there's something needs to be looked at too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's just my thought.
CJ is about 10 pounds, so he's probably a little smaller than your cat. All right. Quint, final thoughts on all this fun stuff?
I honestly just don't think it's going to do anything. I think they're just trying to establish this to get people thinking that they're going to get privacy, but then they're just not going to enforce anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a try, but that's the case. Vince, final thoughts.
I think it's great that there's now more interest in privacy, such that such a bill could come about. But it really needs to be done the right way. I'm glad the politicians are starting to talk about the privacy, and I think this is a good start. That's what I'm saying.
I'll be happy when normies start to talk about it, and it's just like people will recognize that, oh, maybe I should not post everything on Facebook for the whole world to see, So apparently not only is Windows Defender coming to Linux, but also Edge. Yeah, that's exciting. All right, go ahead, Quint.
You said something, was it somebody who you knew posted like pictures of their toddler who had pooped for the first time or something?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That should just be illegal.
They
now,
should
of course, MIT wants to collect those pictures.
I didn't post my toddler pooping, but I did post a picture of the poop. Does that count?
No. That's what this person posted. A picture of the toddler's poop on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Did you do that too?
That could have been me. I'm sorry.
No.
But that was before
me.
I found. That was before I found your channel.
No. This was a lady I knew from up in Erie area. It was very frightening. But did you really do that, Vince?
I know I took a photo of it. I'm not quite sure if I posted it. I may have.
Wow. Okay.
I have to get back. But I haven't opened my Facebook for like almost a year now.
All right, I'll forgive you this time. Again, that's 2 times today, Vince.
I know we're all backwards. We're all backwards down here.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I mean, I get it. It's exciting. I mean, I understand. The kid that I mentor, I've known his family for a long time, and I have a picture of him when he lost his very first tooth. But that was a tooth. Radical difference than. I don't want to think about the other stuff, But anyway.
If I find the picture, I'll share it with you guys after the stream ends.
I'm not that interested, to be perfectly frank.
Okay, fine. Okay. I get it.
The webcam girl in public was fine, but she made 5 times the fine money before she was caught. Posting poop pictures is funny. Posting kid pictures is boring. I wonder how many people are spamming the MIT things with pictures of dog poop in their yard. Snap this one for your AI. Reminds me of a joke I once heard, but it's not PC, so I'm not going to mention it here. It was definitely good.
I've got more stories to share with you, but I might share it with you after the stream ends. I think it's to do with. I think Mitchell might know what I'm talking about. It's to do with people in Hong Kong and China and whole political stuff there, but I won't share it on live stream.
Quint, this one's for you. Gnostic says, wait till your mom starts showing your baby pictures to future girlfriends. Oh, boy. Yeah. All right. Of course, I will be doing another stream here in right about 1 hour, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my other channel, and I'll paste that right here in the comments here in a second. So this is on Should the United States Be a Theocracy? Yes, there's been some discussions about that, but we'll be doing that on my other channel at 9 o'clock. Cortana, Unleash the Kraken. There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, we will go ahead and wrap this one up here, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the weekly news roundup. Let's see what happens. All right. So we will catch you guys later.